What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mistick's MMOs. I'm your host, Mistick Raven. Alright, so today I'm going to introduce you guys to my new Stamina Blade PvP build called Brutal Blade. This build is so good. I've been streaming it in Battlegrounds. It's really good. I like this build. And if you're a blade who doesn't like to be squishy, who likes to be up in the combat, trust me, this build is for you. Now, I'll go over some alternative things that you can adjust and, flex spots, the whole nine. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Prior to buff, application of anything, this is where we stand. We have Max Magicka at 13,000. Hold on, yeah. 13,000. Magicka Recovery 11. Max Health 25. Stamina 23. 23.6. If you wanted to drop down the health to push up Stam or Magicka a little bit, you could. That's optional. Then I'll show you guys how you can do that. So just a heads up. Weapon damage before buff, almost 5,000. Our penetration spell 10, physical is 11 on sword side. On the bow, it's 8.5. Okay. Prior to cloak, spell and physical resistance is 12.72. We've allocated all our points into stamina. We're using the Lover Mundus, and we're going to be using Jewels of Misrule. Why? Gives us that max health, gives us stamina and Magicka Recovery. Very, very important. All right, let's get into the sets here. We're going to be using Sheer Venom, right? This is Poison Glyph, Nirnholm. Nirnholm's going to be a way to scale our Sheer Venom. Okay, very, very important. So when we buff up, want to make sure got the buff. All right. Okay. Now when we add the set bonus and we go back, we're at 5.9, and that can stack up a little higher. The more we build up that momentum, right, the higher we're going to get the sheer venom to proc up. So Nirnholm is a multiplier. So we're just using it for the scaling purpose. Plus it's going to increase our weapon damage, thus making our resolving vigor better. So we definitely want to keep Nirnholm on the bow. So apply the poison injector, apply the sheer venom, get this to scale. So we're getting those nice boosts. I like this set because it has stamina, weapon damage. And this set with this build is really nasty. We're going to be using the Vat Train Greatsword. This is not perfected. If you get the perfected, cool, but you don't need the perfected. I wanted the sword knowing that I was going to use the Lover Mundus versus the Serpent. Because why? Once again, scaling is going to be important. If you want to use them all for a little extra pen, you can. I didn't want to because I wanted that scale from the heavy weapons. So I'm getting an extra 284 weapon damage. That's me. If you want to use them all, by all means. But I'm using the Lover Mundus. That's the reason. If I wasn't using the Lover Mundus, I would definitely recommend them all. But since I'm using the Lover Mundus, I opted to do that because why? The Lover Mundus currently with this build is giving us 3,408, and have we used them all, we'd only get 3,100 or 3,300. Sorry, 3,300 pen. So we're getting a little bit more from the Lover Mundus with this build. A little bit, 100 more. So that's why I opted not to use them all. Okay, moving on. We're going to use one piece of Krogs, Divine, max stamina. if you wanted to put a mag glyph on, if you want a little bit more mag and go down a little bit more stam, you can, but you're going to need to cast. So I do recommend staying with divine stamina. We're going to go 1 health. This is a flex spot. If you want more stam or mag and drop your health, you can. I would rather have a little health. Why? I don't want to be squishy. I don't want to be one of those squish blades. I want a little extra health, and I'm going to that reinforce so I can get the most out of the armor, because once I'm exposed, I don't want to die easily. So I already have the speed. I just need a little bit of durability, and that's what reinforced max health gives me on the Witch Knights. This is our secondary set. I love this set. It gives us 124 weapon damage, 124 weapon damage, another 124 weapon damage. Increase your weapon damage by 356 against enemies inflicted with the poison damage ability, damage effect. So sheer venom, poison injector, and then our sword is glyph poison. Yeah. Ooh, it's definitely brutal. It's brutal. Witch Knight arm cops, divine, max stamina. Well fitted Witch Knight's belt, max magicka. Witch Knight's bracers, max magicka. Guards of sheer venom. Now this is max stamina. I did have max magicka on there, and I probably will glyph it back to max magicka. I like 1400. Because my Undaunted skill line isn't up, so I'm going to get a little bit more scaling once I level that, finish leveling it. So I'll get extra stamina and health. So that's why I say these are flex spots. You can make some adjustments. So if you're Undaunted 9, the only thing I would recommend is keeping at least 25,000 health. That's my only recommendation. So magicka and stamina is going to be based on your preference. Okay. We're going to have Witch Knight's boots, well fitted, max magicka. Sheer venom necklace, infused weapon damage. Ring of sheer venom infused, stamina recovery. It's very important, right? Because we're not using the Serpent Mundus, so this is where a lot of our recovery with the Jewels of Mist will come in play. And then on top of it, we're going to use the Ring of the Wild Hunt infused weapon damage. Now, I took the Swift off, the reason being because I'm already fast. So when I apply Major Expedition, I still get an extra 15% while in combat, and then I have 45% while I'm out of combat. That's my defense, is speed. It's my offense and my defensive capability is speed with this build. And I love it for that. Let's go ahead and get into the skills. Bowbar, Shadowy Disguise. So when we use our Shadowy Disguise and we come back in, now we're at 18,000 spell and physical resistance. So we get popped out. We have a moment where we're not weak, right? That's why it's important to go with two reinforced with this build. We're going to go ahead, Poison Injector, our bread and butter, to proc our sheer venom, Resolving Vigor. Relentless Focus. I really like Relentless Focus with this build, especially because I'm using the Vat sword. So once I proc this up, I can weave up with the bow and get the effect of proc. For scaling purposes, we're going to use Camouflage Hunter on both bars. Why? Because of sheer venom. So I'm not using any fear. Like I said, speed is my defense and my offense. So I want that Camouflage Hunter on both sides. Also because I'm getting that Minor Berserk. So I'm using it for a 3% scale factor for my sheer venom, on top of from the Slayer buff, on top of getting the Minor Berserk for flank. We're going to be using Toxic Barrage, once again a poison. You can put the Dawnbreaker on there if you want to scale sheer venom up a little bit higher. That's going to be a preference, a flex spot, but you know, this is a really good ulti and it works well with Witch Knights. Okay. Ambush, I don't think that needs to be explained to most blades. You know, we stealth, we ambush them, they get minor vulnerability. Also we get in power, that works well with the VATs. We're going to use also surprise attack, which gives the Sunder effect. Really nice if we flank them and we hit it, they get a stun. We're going to use the rally. This is going to go ahead and give us another healing effect. So if we do get popped out of stealth and this is up, well, at least we're getting heals on top of it until we can utilize our resolving vigor. We're going to use, of course, Executioner, as I mentioned earlier, Camouflage Hunter for the scale effect, and what's a blade without incapacitating strikes, right? I mean, come on. You know, this is where it's at right here. Now, I really like this because while slotted, you gain Reeve, which restores 100 magicka and stamina when you deal damage with light or heavy attack. So you definitely want to get that weave in when you are doing anything on this bar. Okay, very, very important. If they get stunned, we generate ulti faster, so really good. I really am enjoying this build a lot. And I'm telling you guys, it's really good. It hits hard, it's fast, and it's durable. It's not like the other blades where they're really squishy. Because you could go with like all divine and get more impen, or more penetration, not impen. You can get more penetration, but you're going to get squishy. You're going to suffer the consequences, and I don't like that. So that's an option for you. If you want to go with all divine, max stamina with some magicka, be my guest. The build will still work, but I like a little durability. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this. I really am having fun with this build, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to it. So as always, I'm Mistick Raven. This is Mistick's MMOs. Have a good one.